Hey, I have a second channel. Cube Comp MTDX.
Hey everybody, so this will be the first computer servicing in the new tech room. Here we have this Dell laptop in for service. Let's see what the model is. Well, I guess all the information is actually in the battery compartment. Oh, actually no, there it is. It's kind of hard to see. It's a Dell Inspiron 173721. So what we're going to be doing to this laptop is we're going to be upgrading from a hard drive to a solid state drive, and we're going to replace the battery. So we've got a brand new laptop battery and a new SSD. Laptop currently has, I think, a 750 gig hard drive in it, 2.5 inch hard drive. The typical that you would have on laptops. Slow. Now the hard drive, I did check it out, and the hard drive is not in bad condition. It's not in bad health or anything. It's just the typical nature of these laptop hard drives. They're slow, and basically the computer is in for just sort of a rehab, a little bit, refurbishing, however you want to call it. So we'll go ahead and take out this battery. See how it comes out. Okay, it actually lifts out. Good. It's got the it's got the Windows key hidden inside the battery compartment. Yeah, I'm gonna need that to install Windows 10 on this thing. So, of course, before you open up a laptop, take the battery out if it's an external battery. So let's go ahead and take this cover off here. So the plan is the hard drive is going to go back to the owner of the computer, because it's got a lot of old files on it, and they didn't necessarily want them files being transferred over to the new setup. So I advised them on getting a USB to SATA adapter kit, which would allow you to attach the hard drive externally. Some of these things can be such a pain to get off of there. Gotta get in there and kind of pry at it. Now, of course, I'm not prying hard. Okay, and that gets you access to the memory as well as the hard drive. So this thing has either 6 or 8 gigs of RAM in it already, so we're not really too worried too much about the RAM. We are going to upgrade this hard disk to an SSD, so the hard drive is right there. On a lot of laptops, this is generally not too hard of a process to do. And of course, the big benefit is you're going to get a huge improvement in speed, and that's what we're looking for here. Because I tell you, these laptop hard drives, they were engineered to be not to be slow, but but due to the fact they had to make them small and make them energy efficient, performance was something they had to sacrifice on. So it's pretty common that if you end up with a laptop that has a hard drive in it as its boot drive, it's going to be pretty slow, especially at startup or launching programs. So, yep, 750 gig Western Digital Blue. You know, like I say, I checked this thing over and it's healthy. And now I got an idea of the age of the laptop, assuming this is the factory drive, which I think it is. So this laptop, it actually is from the Windows 8 era. At least if the hard drive in this thing is the original one. This thing's dated, the hard drive is dated late November, no, excuse me, it's dated November 2013. So, which I guess would make sense. This laptop, actually, I do think, was aimed toward the business consumer. Because it does have Windows 7 Pro on it. And of course, they made the smart decision back in the day not to get Windows 8. Yeah, Windows 8 was a disaster. So now what we gotta do is take this mounting cage off here. And I'll put this hard disk to the side. And I'll get it sent back to the owner. Because, I mean, it's a 750 gig drive that's like at least 2/3 of the way full. So it'd be quite a bit of stuff to back up onto a different drive. Take this out of here like that. I'm going to set that to the side. Get our SSD. So I went with the kind of an off-brand drive. It's a SP, a silicon power. Had good reviews on Amazon, and it says it has a 3-year limited warranty, so there you have it. I think I've actually used this brand of SSD before in some repairs, and I've never had any callbacks over them failing. In fact, I don't think I've had any callbacks over SSDs failing, and I've been doing these upgrades for quite some time. So I'm going to get this mounted into the bracket. Make sure I was putting it in the right way. You know, another benefit of having an SSD in a laptop is, of course, durability. Chances are more likely now if you drop your laptop, you won't lose your data. Because, of course, laptop hard drives are really fragile. I mean, hard drives in general are fragile, but laptop hard drives, due to the nature of the drive, they are super fragile. And I've had far too many incidents of not necessarily laptops being dropped and losing data, but, well, I mean, it could have contributed to why the data was lost. But I've had so many laptops come in with the hard drive just barely hanging on. Matter of fact, there was a video I posted years ago. If I can find it, I may go and link it right here for you to watch. It was a drive that gave up the ghost right on me when I had the thing in for service. So I always like to suggest to people, if you have important files, don't just store them on your laptop, please. Because yeah, you're taking a big risk. You should have at least one backup somewhere. Be it an external hard drive or maybe your desktop computer. Have those files somewhere else. so that way you don't lose them. Alright, we're going to put this last screw in here. And we're going to find out if this laptop is indeed a Windows 8 era machine, and I do think it is based off this product key sticker. It looks from the time. It's got the newer Microsoft logo and everything on it. So this laptop may be set up with UEFI, or it may be UEFI capable. So it'll probably work perfectly with Windows 10. Alright, so I gotta get a photo of this product key so that way I can insert the battery, and because I'll need that key to install Windows 10. Now I'll be honest with you, there could be the possibility that this laptop may actually have a key embedded in the UEFI because it's a Windows 8 era machine. In that case, we probably would not need that key. Let's have a picture of it just in case. We got our SSD in there. Let's get our, first let's put this cover back on. Now, of course, since we are starting from scratch here, or since we have a blank drive in here, we're starting from scratch. So we're going to have to do a clean install of Windows 10. So, of course, got our Windows 10 installation media. Let's unpack our new laptop battery. Of course, went with the generic off of Amazon. And generally, when in the case where I do purchase a generic replacement battery, I don't buy the cheapest one out there. I do kind of get sort of the middle of the road option, and I look at reviews to see what people say about the battery. And for those of you who like watching my 18650 harvesting videos, I probably will be extracting this battery, because when these things go bad, so it's interesting. It's a 5800 milliamp hour battery, so it means our it's most likely a 3S 2P, 3 series 2 parallel pack. And yeah, let's see, at 5.8 amp hours, that means we probably have some good cells in there. The question is, are they any good? Any good ones left? Because all it takes is for one pair of batteries to go bad for the computer to reject the battery pack. Yet you could still have 4 good cells in there, and they're LG Chem according to the sticker. So I may be opening up this pack in a later video. And here's a funny thing. Here they are side by side. And I am going to be almost certain that this is not a 65 watt hour battery. It's probably in the neighborhood of 40 something watt hours, I would guess. And I just love how they they did a pretty good job knocking off the Dell product. I mean, it doesn't say Dell here, but Well, they didn't use the same typeface, but it does look similar. The Type MR90Y. But a battery with some capacity is better than a battery with no capacity. So we're going to drop this in there and that's another thing, is sometimes with these generic batteries, they may not exactly fit perfectly. It's locked. It seems like it's locked in there now, so. Alright. So now we're going to move on to the next steps. Okay guys, we're going to plug this in and start it up. Figure out where the cord is. There we are. Get that plugged in. Okay, let's start this up and go into the BIOS setup utility, or the UEFI, whichever it has. I'm sure it's UEFI. So F2. Okay, so let's see if this really is what I think. Alright, so this is the main page. Inspiron 3721. It is seeing our solid state drive. It's 512 gigabytes. This thing actually has a 130 watt adapter. That's interesting. This battery's performing normally. Well, I'd hope so. Yep, we do have UEFI boot options, and yep, as I suspected, this is a Windows 8 era machine. It does have it does support UEFI boot, at least I think. Okay, here we are. I gotta set this over to UEFI. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The SEP utilities on some of these computers, from like Dell and HP and all those, they're just not that great. Alright, so bootless option. Alright, let's restart. Let's save changes and restart. Okay. Maybe it's because I think I might know what's going on. It's probably because there's nothing on the hard drive. And if there was an operating system there, you would have the Windows Windows Boot Manager, whatever it's called. So plug in our USB drive. Yeah, because there's your legacy options there. That's the typical. So it's interesting. Secure boot is grayed out. So I would think that with setting the boot option to, or boot list option to UEFI, it would enable the option for secure boot, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Like I say, these SAP utilities can be kind of funky. Yep, so there's our USB drive. Yeah, it's funny. A security boot's still grayed out. Anyways, let's go ahead and let this thing run Windows 10 setup. We're going to find out if it actually has a embedded key in the UEFI for Windows. Okay, so apparently this machine did not in fact have a key stored in the setup, so I gotta enter the key real quick and we'll proceed past this step. Okay, I should mention that in the case where you already had upgraded Windows 7 to Windows 10, or the computer already had Windows 10, you would not need to enter the key if you're doing a clean install. But since this computer actually had Windows 7 on it prior, that's why we had to enter the key. Now, technically, you could actually wait until setup is complete and then enter the key when you're ready to activate Windows. But anyways, I'm going to accept the terms. I'm going to have this thing create our partitions. Okay, and we'll go ahead and proceed with installation. So it's pretty straightforward. Okay, everybody, so setup is almost complete, and that's the funny thing about having the solid state drive is how fast Windows will install. Another thing that's funny to note is how this setup utility, not setup utility, but the firmware on this machine apparently doesn't have the integrated OEM logo that pops up when Windows is booting up. Yeah, that's interesting because some systems from that time simply didn't have that. Now, of course, this computer did come factory installed. I mean, the factory installed OS was Windows 7. But the keyboard has the newer, and of course it's off the screen, but off your video. But the keyboard, the Windows key is the Windows 8 logo. So definitely Windows 8 era machine. It's just apparently maybe this model was intended to get shipped with Windows 7. I don't really know for sure. Because for the kind of for the same reason that business computers back in the mid-2000s were continuing to run Windows XP. So like computers from 2007, 2008, for example, computers, especially those in the business sector, business-oriented machines, you could still have those factory shipped with Windows XP back in the day because Vista had such a bad reputation at the time. But anyways, so we're going to let this finish up and we'll continue from there. Okay, we're going to run through setup real quick, and when disconnected our internet connection. Now, of course, the thing is with Windows 11 Home, is you have to have it plugged into the internet in order to get on to get your computer set up, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Because, I mean, there are still some areas where you don't have good internet access. Rural areas. Let's say don't have internet. I'm going to type in the person's name. Uncheck all these things. Bypass the hi, we're happy you're here, we're setting things up for you. And the race is on to kill OneDrive setup. Oh. Okay, killed it. Disable the startup task. And that is how you can stop OneDrive from automatically installing Windows 10. When Windows 10 came out, they wanted to say that OneDrive was an integral part of Windows 10. You couldn't uninstall it. Well, that's a lie, because when you log into Windows 10 for the first time, that quietly runs in the background to install OneDrive. So when you actually manage to kill the process, you can have a OneDrive-less Windows 10. Like, for example, when you pull up File Explorer, there's no OneDrive over here, and there's no OneDrive in here. So I'll go ahead and plug our network connection back in. So what's going to happen now is it's going to start fetching drivers and things like that. I'm just going to hit no on that. Go down here and turn off nags. Get rid of the search bar. Okay, so at this point I will go ahead and start oh yeah, one more thing. It thinks we're in California. This is one of the things I've never understand about Windows 10. And I think Windows 8 before it. It's probably trying to run 100 million things at the same time. Okay, that gets us set up. I change that to Eastern Time. Yeah, it definitely hasn't installed the trackpad drivers yet. Eastern Time, which is where we're located. Okay, so really, you can see there's drivers getting installed right now. So really, at this point, it's just a process of letting this thing install drivers and stuff like that, and also I'll install things like Chrome, Firefox, and stuff like that. So anyways, that is replacing the hard drive with a solid state drive in this machine. Now, of course, I didn't show the process of doing a backup because, well, the owner of the computer, they're getting the hard drive back with their files on it, and they're starting out fresh on this machine. So that was the process of swapping out the hard drive for an SSD in this machine, replacing the battery, and going from Windows 7 to Windows 10 via clean install. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Well, everybody, that wraps it up for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the computer channel, and be sure to tick that bell so you'll get notified when new videos are posted. Also, don't forget, I have a whole lot of other interesting videos here on the channel to check out. And also, in addition, I have a second channel, CubeComp MTDX, where I have all sorts of other videos not exactly related to technology. Links to the channels are available at the end of this video. Again, I thank you for your support and thanks for watching this video.